the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird.
Disney just hit the red button on its own nostalgia machine, and the aftershocks are rattling every glass slipper in the kingdom. Insiders claim the studio has frozen all live-action remakes.
These big bad feminists now are telling us that's ridiculous. How dare you want to meet a handsome prince and be swept off of your feet and live happily ever after? No, you should want to be the prince. You should want to go out and fight the bad guys with a sword.
Yes, every last gritty reimagining you had on your bingo card after the Snow White debacle left execs clutching their mouse ears. The jaw-dropper? Rumor has it they're quietly steering the ship toward a brave and slightly eerie new frontier.
Did the dwarfs make it or no?
Well, the CGI dwarfs did. Of course, that goes back to the original controversy where Peter Dinklage, a very talented little person actor, said, why are we doing that? We've hired a Latina actress to be Snow White. That's progressive. But you're going to hire little people to play the dwarfs? That just seems like a step backwards. And then, of course, Disney instantly buckled and said, okay, we're going to add magical creatures.
Fully AI-generated features. Goodbye, photorealistic talking lions. Hello, algorithms painting castles pixel by pixel. If that sounds like sci-fi, buckle up, because sources whisper the pivot is already in motion. Word of the shutdown leaked faster than a teacup ride on overdrive. Allegedly, Bob Iger convened an emergency summit where the phrase brand triage got tossed around like confetti at a Main Street parade. Executives reviewed early Snow White test cards. Grim faces, awkward silence, one poor intern Googling, damage control for fairy tale fiascos. Within hours, greenlit scripts for Hercules, Pocahontas, even the long-rumored Atlantis remake were shoved into a digital vault.
In this, and it's not just the actors, it's Disney fans. Disney fans are offended by Rachel Zegler's comments disrespecting the movie that made Disney. And this is why there is 1 million dislikes on this trailer, and it's a culmination.
And an internal memo declared the live-action slate non-essential. Cue stunned gasps from directors who'd already measured the red carpet. What pushed them over the edge? It started with that so-called Snow White disaster, a tornado of bad buzz that only got wilder once fans heard Rachel Zegler allegedly clashed with critics, security, and maybe her own PR team. Whether she was actually detained, sources differ wildly, or merely endured a stern talking to, the incident ballooned on social media. Overnight, #NotMySnowWhite trended beside conspiracy threads claiming dwarfs had been replaced by magical humanoids rendered with early 2000s CGI.
So we'll guarantee no employment for little people while getting rid of this other component that warranted CGI. It was the worst decision they could possibly make.
Even Disney diehards groaned. Just give me the cartoon again. Behind the scenes, editors were reportedly stitching last-minute pickups into a patchwork plot that felt about as seamless as a glass slipper in a mudslide. Test audiences described tonal whiplash. 1 minute, a heartfelt ballad, the next a lecture on socio-economic justice, followed by a slapstick squirrel gag. By screening number 3, studio brass allegedly conceded that no amount of reshoots could spin this straw into gold. Worse, financial analysts warned that each remake now risked similar backlash. Why gamble hundreds of millions when the algorithmic crystal ball says, danger ahead, enter the AI plan? Two executives, nicknamed the Sorcerer's Apprentices, pitched Project Walt 2.0, a suite of generative tools capable of crafting feature-length animation in months, not years.
Original description of Snow White's skin in the book is as white as snow.
Yeah.
Lips as red as blood, hair as black as ebony. Couldn't be clearer.
They missed the mark there. They should have costed me.
The tech demo? An AI short that recreated Steamboat Willie in neon cyberpunk style, complete with synthwave score. Some board members reportedly called it mind-blowing. Others, nightmare fuel, but everyone agreed it cost less than a single day of live-action reshoots. With Snow White threatening to hemorrhage cash, the math suddenly looked irresistible. Of course, the pivot isn't just about saving pennies on dwarf prosthetics. Insiders say Disney fears another social media pile-on more than Maleficent fears a lawsuit. Algorithms don't ad-lib controversial interviews, and digital princes won't complain if the script turns them into background furniture.
Let's bring in some. I want to bring in someone who's seen the film. This is the publisher of Film Threat, Chris Gore. Chris, you've seen the film. Is it any good?
Yes, I have. Well, I'll have to give it up to Rachel Zegler. She has quite a singing voice.
Plus, AI can iterate story beats until test groups actually smile. No last-minute rewrites that leave actors wondering which century they're supposed to be in. We can A/B test fairy tales like ad copy, one tech lead allegedly bragged. If version 47 makes kids cry happy tears, we ship it. Naturally, not everyone is whistling while they work. Animators worry they'll be replaced by code faster than you can say bibbidi-bobbidi-bye. SAG-AFTRA lawyers are sharpening quills over digital likeness rights. And theme park Imagineers privately fret that an AI-designed princess might look uncanny on parade floats. Meanwhile, rival studios sniff blood in the water. Warner reportedly dusted off its own AI project nicknamed Looney Learner, while Universal spies a chance to woo disillusioned filmmakers with promises of real sets and zero chatbots. Fan reaction? Split like a poisoned apple.
Studios really need to go back to what they originally did, which was tell your stars to shut up and not say things, because no one is paying to hear your star say offensive things off the screen.
Some cheer the end of what they call soulless shot-for-shot cash grabs, thrilled that AI might revive the colorful wonder of classic animation, minus the weird photoreal fur. Others fear Disney will churn out algorithmic mush, the cinematic equivalent of microwave oatmeal, warm, bland, and vaguely unsettling. If Siri writes my childhood, one commenter quipped, I'm staging a sing-along protest outside Cinderella Castle. Back in Burbank, executives are reportedly mapping a 3-phase rollout. Phase 1, limited release AI shorts on Disney+, testing audience tolerance. Phase 2, a mid-budget feature. Sources speculate a sci-fi spin on an obscure 40s property to minimize brand risk. Phase 3, a marquee title, perhaps a fully AI-rendered Frozen prequel rumored to be called Elsa Zero Kelvin. If it melts hearts, and not servers, the AI era becomes official canon. If it bombs, well, there's always live action again in 2030. Maybe. Amid the scramble, Bob Iger publicly insisted, our primary purpose is to entertain.
Yeah, we had more dwarfs than we did viewers in most of these theaters. And as you know, there were no dwarfs other than some CGI weird generated version of them. It's the old, it truly is go woke, go broke.
Critics fired back. Is entertainment a click optimize button now? Shareholders just want green arrows on quarterly slides. Meanwhile, Rachel Zegler's camp reportedly hopes the AI shift will eclipse talk of her alleged meltdown. Friends claim she's focusing on a stage musical where no algorithm can replace live vocals. Peter Dinklage, whose dwarf representation critique allegedly triggered the Snow White rewrite spiral, remains silent, perhaps enjoying the irony that the next Snow White might have zero human performers at all. Will audiences accept princesses designed by neural nets? Pixar loyalists point out that computers have driven Disney magic since 1995. This is just the next leap. Skeptics counter that AI art can feel hollow, lacking the imperfections that make hand-drawn classics timeless. One disgruntled former animator put it bluntly, a machine can mimic Bambi's eyes, but it can't cry when Bambi's mom, well, Still, the studio appears all in. Rumor has it, casting calls for upcoming voice roles now include a clause allowing AI voice doubles for pickup lines, reducing actors' days in the booth.
Rachel, did Steven Spielberg not pay you for your role in West Side Story? Did Disney fail to give you a healthy paycheck for, Cry Me a River? She's just exactly everything that we can't stand.
Production timelines are being slashed, with storyboards generated from text prompts in hours. Even merchandising teams are testing AI to auto-design plush toys that trend on TikTok before they hit shelves. If half these whispers prove true, Disney isn't just dabbling, it's betting the castle on code. Of course, Disney's history is one of reinvention. Walt himself pioneered multiplane cameras and xerography, but every innovation had skeptics. Remember when people said a full-length cartoon would never work? Now the question is whether AI is the next Technicolor or the next new Coke. Early AI demos reportedly impressed investors with hyper-detailed forests that shift lighting in real time, but an unnamed veteran animator scoffed. It's pretty, but where's the soul? A fairy tale without soul is just a PowerPoint with a soundtrack. Meanwhile, theme park rumors swirl. Imagineers allegedly pitched AI Dreams, an interactive dark ride where guests co-create story paths in real time.
What is this process now where it's like in order to be inclusive, you have to completely destroy storylines, completely destroy franchises? I don't believe in that. I don't think that consumers believe in that either.
Sounds thrilling, until a glitch casts you as the villain and your toddler sobs all the way to the gift shop. Tech teams promise robust safeguards, parents remain unconvinced. Still, if the AI gambit succeeds on screen, don't be shocked when holographic princes start greeting you at breakfast buffets. Financial analysts remain cautiously optimistic. Cutting live-action budgets could save hundreds of millions, and AI pipelines scale like magic beanstalks. But if audiences reject synthetic storytelling, the brand hit could dwarf Snow White's fallout. Some investors reportedly urged a hybrid approach, live actors with AI-enhanced backdrops, yet the current mandate seems firm. Minimal humans, maximum machine learning. Think of the synergy. One exec allegedly gushed, "We train the AI on our entire catalog. It spits out endless content." Disney Plus subscriptions soar. Unless, of course, subscribers bail at the first uncanny grin. Industry guilds are watching like hawks. The Writers Guild fears prompt engineers replacing screenwriters. VFX artists worry about being outpaced by algorithms that never sleep. Meanwhile, AI ethicists caution about datasets that bake in bias, potentially spawning controversies worse than Snow White. Disney's legal team is reportedly drafting ironclad policies, but leaks hint at internal debates over credit, royalties, and accountability when a neural net borrows too heavily from an obscure European folktale. For fans, the immediate question is simple. What will Disney magic feel like when conjured by silicon? Will an AI-rendered "when you wish upon a star" still tug heartstrings? Or will audiences sense the invisible circuit boards behind the curtain? Early focus groups allegedly reported mixed feelings, visual awe tempered by emotional distance. One teen viewer summed it up: "Looks epic, but I can't meme a robot's performance." Even so, the live-action era's abrupt curtain call has left Hollywood scrambling. Universal's MonsterVerse reboots suddenly look safer. Netflix might scoop up directors left in Disney's wake, and somewhere in Burbank, a prop warehouse full of unused Cinderella gowns gathers dust while servers hum in a climate-controlled AI lab. It's a plot twist no one saw coming, except maybe the algorithm that predicted this video would hit your recommended feed. So, is the age of live-action fairy tales truly over? Or is this just Disney's dramatic pause before the next act? Are you excited to see AI take the wheel? Or does the idea of synthetic storytelling make you want to rewatch the 1937 Snow White on VHS? Drop your hottest take in the comments. Seriously, I'm bracing for fire emojis. Smash that like button if you survived the Snow White saga, subscribe for more behind the castle intrigue, and tap the video on screen to see how Peter Dinklage's critique allegedly set this whole meltdown in motion. See you there!